Hello and welcome to the Recording Journey Podcast, episode number 10. My name is Kai Ellis. Welcome back to me. I've been absent for a couple of episodes. Thank you so much to Marty Helly for filling in for me. Really, the only complaint that I have about all the good work Marty did is that now I've got this tremendous precedent to live up to. I am going to do my best, y'all, but Marty, you raised the bar. I appreciate you, brother. Well, on this week's episode, we're going to get into some music news. We're going to listen to some music from our forum members, and in particular, something very special, we're going to keep going through interviews with our bandball bands about the songs they created and submitted for the competition. So let's get started. First up, it's the news. All right, here's the big thing I want you to know right off the top. We got two very cool challenges going on right now that I hope you'll take some time, come onto the forum, and take part in them because they're going to be a blast. First one is every month or two we do a Cover This Song challenge where we put up 4 or 5 songs, we take a vote as a community, and then we all decide on we're all going to try and do this one that won the vote. And there were some real bangers put up for the vote for the months of November and December. I personally, among those choices, voted for and really thought was going to win the Weeknd song, Blinding Lights. But I'll tell you what rose to the top in the final hour, and it's going to be so exciting hearing people's interpretations of this classic rock song and see what kind of wild and interesting directions we all go in. The winner was AC/DC's You Shook Me All Night Long. So come on, take part in the challenge. Let's hear what you do with this song, and you feel free to be as straightforward as you want or take it in some wild and unexpected, cosmically gifted direction that no one ever saw coming. I can tell you, that's what I plan on doing, and I plan to deliver. And let me tell you, someone who did deliver. They took the song I thought was going to win the challenge, The Weeknd's Blinding Lights, and it didn't win, but that song's got a lot of love. And our very own Scott Swede, my friend Arnold, he decided to take on that song anyway and put a real fresh and creative spin on it. So I want to play it for you now because it is something real cool he did to it. A whole bunch of flourishes and touches to it that could only come from him. It's a real good reason to fall back in love with the song and see just what kind of creative journey you can take it on. Here it is, Blinding Lights. See what I mean? You take a song that pretty well everybody knows and a lot of people have got a lot of love for, myself included. And when I listen to the original version, I think to myself, this is kind of exactly what it's meant to be. I'm not even really sure what you would do to it if you were going to reinterpret it, but leave it up to Arnold. He did something fresh and surprising and satisfying. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And then the second cool challenge we got going on is a mixing and arrangement challenge. It's a song by our very own David Fraser, and he's given us a song called Trust a Feeling that he recently revisited himself. He'd done a version of it a little bit ago and then came back, revisited it, remixed it, recorded a bunch of new stuff for it, and gave us this new spin on the song. And we all kind of asked, hey, would it be all right with you if we took a crack at it ourselves and see what kind of place we can take the song to? So he's given all of us the multi-tracks, and now here's the challenge. Take them and do what you will with them. All that David asked is that the song be recognizable at the end of it. But beyond that, if you want to use all of his tracks and just mix them differently, if you want to keep some of them and lose some of the others, if you want to make some stuff way more prominent and then pull some stuff way more back, or heck, if you want to keep just a couple and then record a bunch of new stuff for the song, or if you feel like one section of the song actually belongs elsewhere, like maybe you think the verse is the bridge, I don't know. Take the tracks. Do what you will with the song. Take it to the place where you feel like it deserves to go and that will bring the song to the best place it can be. That is a challenge, and we're all very excited to see what we come up with. So I hope that you will come and be a part of the challenge with us. And just to give you a taste of what you'd be in for, let me play you the original track. This is by David Fraser. It's called Trust a Feeling. Here you go.
Feeling with a meaning I can't find. Can't get this ship into the shore. Could be a warning, there's no knowing at this time if it's empty or it's full. And this can't go on anymore. To the future, I can't live in the past, 'cause I just can't shake the feeling it won't last. It's just a feeling, I hope I'm wrong, but should you ever trust a feeling when that feeling is so strong? I hope it's wrong. There's so much talking, but no listening anymore. How did you think that this would feel? The wolves are calling and they're knocking at your door. There's nothing left to keep it real, and it won't go on this way no more. Wander to the future, can't live in the past, 'cause I just can't shake the feeling it won't last. It's just a feeling, I hope I'm wrong, but should you ever trust a feeling when that feeling is so strong? I hope it's wrong. a feeling, it's so strong. Can you ever trust a feeling when you know it could be wrong? I can only trust my feelings when that feeling lasts so long. Do you think I'm wrong?
What I tell you, that is a banger, and it makes me very excited to take a crack at remixing it, potentially rearranging it, reinventing it. We're going to see where my Imagine takes me, and I want to see where your Imagine takes you. I'm just going to tell you my two favorite things about that original version that it would be very hard for me to not want to include in my own reimagining of the song is, one, that tremolo that he's got on that guitar part that's just whump, 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 whump in the back. It just helps make the song to me. And then two, coming into the final chorus, that stop that he's got, where everything clips out and then whoom, roars back in. Oh, it's moments like that that just make the song to me. So I'm very excited to take a crack at it. I hope you will too. Now next up, we come to my very favorite part of the show. The part where we showcase music from members of our forum. New stuff they're working on, stuff that sometimes it's finished or work in progress. Most of all, we all listen to it and give each other feedback. Now, our very own Karen Lewis just recently here posted a new song called Places of the Heart, and I'm going to tell you what she said in her post about this song, about the origins of it. She says, well, I had a melody and the words just wouldn't come for it. So I let it go until we took a trip to Oregon. We stayed in the beach house where I'd taken my kids for weekends many, many times. Suddenly, I knew what the song was about. Sometimes there just has to be a real connection. Well, we all listened to the song, and I am telling you, if this is your first time hearing it, you are going to love it just as much as we all did. Karen never fails to deliver, and this is maybe one of the most special songs that she's ever brought to us. Here it is, Places of the Heart.
The owl calls into the moon, I unlock the door. It opens to an ocean view I've seen many times before. As we settle in our room, rain starts to pour, and teal green waves pile on the shore. Through morning mist we take the trail down to the sand, thread our way through driftwood piles on the border of the land. Reedy grasses ankle high, kelp on the strand, in cold water barefoot we stand. Places of the heart, memory songs, pebbles kept in a wooden box till a new one comes along. Huckleberries on the path, a wild turkey track, some twisted pines sculpted by the wind, a damp mossy mat, hidden in between the dunes, salt marsh and flat. Maybe we're never coming back. Places of the heart, songs of the land. When it calls into your heart, sing along if you can.
Didn't I tell you that was going to be something special? And let me tell you, one of my favorite details about that song is that over the last couple of years, Karen took it upon herself to learn how to play the cello, a new instrument to her. So every bit of cello on that song that you heard was played by hand in real life from her. None of this virtual instrument coming from her. And I gotta tell you, not only does it sound great, but when you think about it being a new instrument to her, it just blows my mind. And it's nothing but inspiring to me. The idea of challenging yourself that way, of giving yourself a new instrument to play and express yourself with and write songs with. I love everything about it. And it's encouraging me, and I hope it's encouraging you to try something new. Surprise yourself. Introduce new things into your songwriting process and your production. I know that something good is going to come from that when you do. All right, next up on our list of original songs from forum members, we got a new guy at the rodeo with us. His name is Andreas. He comes to us from our friends at the Home Studio Corner. That's another forum out there on the internet that's kind of doing something similar to us, a community of folks that know and love each other, give each other feedback and whatnot. So Andreas came to us, and he posted this song called Air. And let me tell you, every last one of us that listened to it loved the song. He asked for some feedback, and we gave him some suggestions about how to take the song to another level, and he's still working on those, on implementing them. It's a little bit of a work in progress, but I asked for his permission to go ahead and play the song for you because it is already something real cool. This is by Andreas. The song is called Air.
As I reach out for you, I forget everything I know. I do this for myself, I don't do it for you. I need to feel you, can't touch you, you don't see me, I'm air. I'm air. I'm air. Turn around to follow you, the wind carries me away. Not just a calm breeze, there's no way I could stay. You pretend you don't hear me while you leave me. Just leave me alone. I should have said a brighter tone. I should have said a kinder tone. But I tell myself I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I tell myself I'm wrong.
See, one of the things I love about that song Air by Andreas is that when it starts, I pretty quickly know that I like it, but I'm not quite sure, what is this? Where's it going? Where is it taking me? And by the end of it, it's not just that it's taken me to some surprising places, but it's taken me to some emotional places. I really feel like we've been on a journey together and experienced something and started to understand something by the end of it. I just love that song, and I am looking forward to anything else that Andreas brings to us in the near future. Now, next up, we're heading into our final segment of the show. It's the segment we've all been waiting for, the deep dive into one more song from our band ball competition. The band next up is ATM, and we're going to be looking at their song, All Those Years. First up, I'm going to play the song for you so we can get a good, healthy reminder of just how amazing this song was, and then we'll dive into the interview and let them explain a little bit where the song came from.
First there was the new you, coming home so cute, already bound to my heart. You didn't know you'd be the moon and stars to me, that's how our journey would start. Then you changed into something more, a little girl whose laugh could stop me in my tracks and add to my memory drawer. Oh, how could I know that you would go and live a life I had before? When I was young, life was fun and carefree, but something was missing that I could not see. It's okay now, found my way with the woman I love to this day, and that's when you came into our world. All those years, they went by too fast, I barely had time to blink. I did all I could to give you the world and all the love it could bring.
They fade away every day. All those years. Don't let them go. Cherish them. Hold on.
Then you brought a new you, showing me how soon he would be bound to my heart. It was clear he'd be the moon and stars to me, and another journey would start. Oh, you changed into something more, a mother and a wife, sharing a new life and adding to your memory drawer. Oh, how could I know that you would go, make a life we all wished for?
They fade away every day. All
I had almost forgotten how good that song is, and good does not begin to describe it. That song is great. Well, let's dive in a little bit to the interview with ATM and hear a little bit about where the song came from and how they wrote it, produced it.
So basically, with Todd and Arnold and myself, first thing we did was decide what we didn't want to do. Neither of the guys wanted to do a rock song. They didn't want to do a country
Right.
song. They wanted to do something different. And yeah, I think we accomplished that. It was different, all right. And it was fun getting there. The hard part was like, well, what do we want to sing about? So I talked to the guys. I said, well, I just saw this thing on YouTube. I don't know if you're familiar with the U.S. show Modern Family,
Sure.
but there's a reel out there where the Ed character, the father, grandfather, whatever, is talking about kids. And what it was Ed talking about, the progression of children, when they first come and what they're like. And it was very kind of poignant. I thought it was like about, if you get a chance, listen to like the first 50 seconds of it. And we said, I basically said, this write a song about this, what he's saying there. Don't necessarily have to use the same language or whatever, but the sentiment is what I was after. So we struggled with various different melodies and rhythms and stuff. And finally, Arnold came up with this, I think it was not a loop, but a piano bit that he found that we really liked. And so we built from that. And I came up with the lyrics and the melody. But Arnold also had a pretty neat little midsection there that he wrote. And it seems out of sequence when we first put it together. But we found a way to transition it because there's a number of transitions in that song.
Yeah, I noticed that myself.
Yeah, and we were trying to do, but we wanted to, this year, my God, I was going to do at least one modulation. Every year I've wanted to do a song where we modulate key. So, they let me do it, and we did it after just before it was supposed to be a guitar break. I was really kind of begging Arnold to give us a good progressive rock kind of guitar lead.
Yeah.
He came up with something that was actually pretty good, and he sold me on it, and Todd was on board with it. So that's kind of what we did. We had some struggles talking about staying up late at night on Sunday night. I was up until midnight finishing the bass line.
Right.
And the rough mix. Todd did a kind of a remix of it.
It's a great song, man. Am I hearing you right that the two things that you came in wanting was, one, you wanted the song to be about, and then two, you really wanted it to be a modulation somewhere in the song?
Yeah, I wanted to modulate somewhere in the song. I just think that's cool. That's Beatles do it all the time. I'm just a huge Beatles fan.
Oh yeah,
Eagles do it all the time. I'm a huge Eagles fan, and when it's done right, it really just adds some energy to the song.
Yeah, it just means even people that don't understand what just happened, but they can feel that something cool just happened.
There's a different vibe going on here. So
that's really cool. Did you guys start off? I asked Decompress this. Did you guys start off with lyrics or music first?
Music first. That's all. That's the way I work.
Yeah.
I think the other guys are the same way. Basically, they gave. Arnold gave me the keyboard bit, so they were looking for melody. So I had a melody in my head that I thought I would try some, bogus lyrics just to see what it sounded like. And then I went from there. That was, after we got that kind of background, the backing track per se, I got the lyrics out and we did the melody with that. And
there's so many layers to the song. I was curious who did what, because it felt like the orchestral bit. Well, I didn't think anybody in your band has access to an orchestra. So who did those pieces?
So the initial strings were Arnold, but then Todd came in with what I thought was some really good strings.
Yeah.
Then Arnold layered some horns on top of that, which I really liked. So, our responsibilities, basically there was an acoustic guitar in there, which that was me. I did the bass, I did the vocals, and I did the lyrics. And then Arnold took basically the backing track and the drums. He did the drums for that when they came in. And then Todd was doing the one section of strings. He did this little bit where I was able to manipulate it and modulate it to a different key in the next section. He had it actually going out through the first verse and chorus where we wanted to come in a little bit later. So that's what we did. And then, Arnold did some vocals too, because the one bridge, I guess we could call it, or pre-bridge, was his vocal. He did the vocal for that. And the backing vocals that we hear. And basically, I was going to do some more harmonies with that. We just ran out of time.
How did you decide that he was going to sing the bridge?
I had the lyrics one way, and then he sent me these other lyrics, but chronologically, they really weren't. His should have come first, but he thought the way the song started with the lyrics and the melody that I originally brought forward, that was the way to start. So we had to come up with a way to bring that prelude, I guess. You got the child being born, but then a little bit later on, you're talking about how the parents kind of met and how that child came into the world. So it was out of sequence, but it managed to fit because we changed the structure of it so much at that point. It was kind of a transition there. And he had we struggled with the little transition bits a lot, trying to figure out how to make it relatively seamless. If you listen to it, there's a couple places in there where we kind of stop and you hear this, this boom coming in, and we had to layer up some other stuff on top of that to make it sound right. But it was a lot of freeform thinking going on there.
I bet. Well, yeah, and the way that it's almost got that prog rock feel, and there's different movements and sweeps to it. It's very impressive, man. It sounds pretty good, man. Does anybody else have any comments they want to offer about the song?
I felt like you guys, it's good. It's really good, but you took on something so big that it's really hard to get that finished within the context of a challenge.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I mean, the concept and everything, the whole thing, and even the production you did come up with, it's like, it's really good and it's really there, but it's like, God, this thing needs 2 years to work this out and get it down to where you really want it to be.
Yeah. We needed at least another month. And unfortunately, both Arnold and I had sections where we were offline. We were just like unavailable. Sure. So I was out for a week and he was out for a week. And then all of a sudden, boom, Sunday's here and we're scrambling to try to get something finished up there. So
nothing like that adrenaline, baby.
Yeah. Oh boy. It's been a long time since I put what I call an all-nighter. But it was a good effort. And we intend to revisit it here together because we would like to tweak some of the areas. I mean, I think the concept was good. There's just, like you said, it was a lot to try to undertake in the time frame that we had.
Yeah, man, it's very ambitious, which is part of what, even if there's parts of it that you feel like we wanted that to be different or better, to have that level of ambition and to get it sounding as good as it does and that really crammed amount of time, and it's just extraordinary, man. So take all the time you want to get it to the place where you feel like this is the final version. This is the version we believe in.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you'll be hearing from us later, I'm sure.
Anybody else got something to say?
Well, I was going to just talk about the complexity part, because one of the discussions we had very early on is any of these could work. We're going to take the one that we think we can do the quickest because we only have 6 weeks. And I think that's a lesson that's a takeaway. You want to do what you think you can do if you wanted to reach the level that it can in a short period of time.
I go totally the other way. But I mean, that was my favorite song just because it was so ambitious. I'd much rather have an ambitious song and not get there than something that I'd normally do and get there.
Well, we were not there yet, so.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, Robert, I got to tell you what happened. What bit us in the ass is we looked at our schedules and we realized, okay, so Arnold, you're going to be out this part. It's the last week or two that you won't be available full time. I'm going to be out the last week or two. Oh, we got all this time before then, and before you know it, whoa, where the hell did all the time go? Now we got a week. We thought we'd be mixing this week, and we're still in production. So there was some time management issues, and then there was also a workflow issue that we had going on there. I mean, one of us has a very different approach to production than the other two, and it really didn't jive very well. So we did the best we could with that. You know, if you go in understanding that, don't think you're going to be like, we really seriously thought, yeah, all we got to do is we'll be mixing the last week. No, you know, if I'm still up at midnight, wrapping up a bass line, then no, that shouldn't be. So we got lost, but I mean, everybody was solid at what they did. You know, you look at Todd, I mean, he's got 60 years in this business. I mean, this man knows his shit. And same thing with Arnold, with what he's doing with the mixing and the choices he was making there. So, but unfortunately, there's just a different approach sometimes got in the way. And there were moments where, you know, I realized, and this is the thing about bandball. I mean, this any kind of collaboration, but I like it particularly with bandball because we get to work with different people. You're all not going to work the same way, and you're going to have different approaches that just kind of sometimes butt heads. You deal with it. You just got to figure out how to get around it. And that's a good exercise. I collaborate. Don't try to do everything. And that's been my model for years. I'm just used to doing everything myself. So I'm trying to do more of that collaboration thing. I've invited other people to do things. You go and you have fun with it. And like Robert or Artie was saying, that it was really ambitious and we should have rolled it back a bit.
But glory's in the
it came up
attempt,
with
man.
something.
It's cool. It's really cool. Awesome. Thanks for telling us about it, Mike. And that brings us to the end of episode number 10 of the Recording Journey podcast. Now, we are still on our journey towards episode number 21 because allegedly, episode number 21 is a career-defining milestone for any podcast. It puts you in the top 1% of podcasts for no better reason than most podcasts do not make it to episode 21, and I fully intend for us to make it to episode 121. So I hope you'll join us on the journey. Signing off for this week. God bless y'all. Take care.